like I always say to everybody, we're all racist. We all have some prejudice. When we were kids, my parents, I'm first generation Mexican American. My dad said esos negros when I used to listen to MWA, Easy hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like you like that black music, right? And that was in my household. It didn't leave my household. It was in my household. But if I was that other kid that took my dad's words literally, and that's racism installed in me, knowing or not knowing, I'm getting trained to be racist toward black music or whatever,
Like it's
Oh,
something bad, right?
yeah, like something bad. Oh, right. Because he doesn't understand it. He didn't understand English. He didn't understand what the music stood for, right? So to him, it's just English, black people, and oh my God, why you like that black music, right? So am I supposed to like rancheras all the time, corridos, because I'm about that, narco life? No, man, I'm not about that life. I was never about that life. We'll never be about that life. What I'm saying is, we as people need to start realizing how we train our kids or how we talk to our neighbors. And if they're a different color, we have to be respectful of understanding they're a different culture. They might not understand what we're saying. There's a lot of people out there that hate when they say, "Hey, we're in America, speak English." Because again, yes, it's a kind of like a ignorant comment, but at the same time, sit back and relax and say, well, they might think we're talking shit about them. They might think that we want to talk within us and not, so they don't understand what we're saying. I mean,
It's
I've been
like
about.
when people go to the nail shop and they see an Asian lady or whoever is there talking their native language, it feels bad.
Yeah.
So I think the whole point with this whole revolution that's going on right now, this new age revolution, like you mentioned the points earlier, Rick, these kids have the right to do it because they have, they're preparing their future. They're going at it. They really want change. This has come to a point where people are like boiling up and they're fed up. And it comes down to, if you look at it in Roman times, what they used to say, divide and conquer. This country is the most divided it has ever been. Whether you want to be a Republican, whether you want to be a Democrat, it really doesn't matter. To me, at the end of the day, it's a class issue. You have, technically speaking, Republicans that, are Republicans because Republican government gives tax breaks to people that make more money, which is understood. You're there, you want to profit, you want to move forward, you live in a capitalist system. Democrats are for the people, according. But as you mentioned earlier, the Democrats that are running our state are really, really doing it. What is Mayor Garcetti doing? He's going back and giving money to the police force instead of doing like a education program like you and I, Rick, and Charlie that's live on the other line have talked about this for years. We talked about creating something that's going to be a platform for kids to understand themselves better as individuals. And right now, this incident that happened with George Floyd, rest in peace, is the awakening of so many different layers to the whole coin. People were fed up with the COVID stay-at-home orders. They wanted to be out. These kids that are out there, this morning I changed my perspective. I spoke with you, Rick. I spoke with Charlie. And I realized that you guys do have a point by saying that these kids have the right to do it and that we should support them whether they're doing it or not. The one thing that we all agree on is not support the looters. But like you said, Rick, if that's what it's going to take for us to get to the next level, casualties of war, we have to do it. Today is a modern war. It's a different beast that we're dealing with. Capitalism. So many layers to the whole story. And people are just fed up. And I'm doing a recap, guys, because I just realized that our system was down and we're going pretty much from scratch, starting from the top. So right now we're connected, and that's why I was doing a recap. But we're talking about this, what's going on in the world, our city. We're laughing because we've been talking for the last half an hour, and this stupid computer was giving us problems. And making a long story short, it's a beautiful computer. It's working now. But
Hey, Bill Gates, Bill Gates.
hey, bro,
Bill Gates
that corporate guy,
is happening, bro.
Hey, don't say that. It sounds kinky. No, Rick, let me do a little recap, and then we go back to our points that we were saying. There's two worlds right now that are divided in the city of Los Angeles, and let's specifically focus here because this is who we are. we're living through these times here in LA. We have the young kids that are going out there, going against the implemented curfew that is set by the city, by the LAPD, by the National Guard. It's martial law. Right now, they're risking their lives being arrested. Others are looting, and the media is portraying them as the bad guys. But you, Rick, you have a special take on it. You say that this is necessary as a casualty of war for change.
Yeah. Well, let me start first how I started earlier because people need to kind of understand.
Sorry.
I want to apologize to all the business, small business owners, mom and pop shops. We're sorry. We're truly sorry that you lose business. We're truly sorry that your dreams got crushed. But you're alive, and we cannot bring life back to life. We can help you rebuild, and hopefully our leaders will reach out. And today I saw that they're giving out numbers to help small businesses that were affected by the fire. So if you have no insurance, there is a number.
Awesome.
But to say to these kids that they're doing wrong, who has the playbook protesting? There's no playbook. These kids are actually out there testing in peace. There's a few bad apples. The reason we're here is because there's a few bad apples in the police department. So the reason we're here at this point because 30 years ago, the same thing happened and nothing has changed. History has repeated itself. So my point of view, and I would like to say that I'm proud of these kids. For proving the point, for trying to get justice for everybody. And don't let media fool you, man. They always go into these are bad kids. This is not what we need to do. Okay, I understand. But in war, there is going to be casualties of war. And the only reason media and the world is focusing and has the light on the U.S. is because buildings have burned down. That's my take.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, like you say. In the beginning, when you and I started talking this morning, I was thinking differently. I was looking at it from the media narrative, which is these bad people. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're destroying lives. They're doing this. They're doing all that. But once you pointed out the whole thing about this really needs to happen. If it doesn't happen, when is it going to happen? Are you happy with what's going on? Are you happy with low wages? Are you happy with the current state of homelessness in the city? Are you happy with, some people say that they're lies about the COVID. Obviously, it's not. It's real, but the numbers have been inflated. Are you happy with what's going on with your government, the president, the mayor, the governor, your local city councils? Are you happy with what they're doing? Chances are you're not. But what are you doing? You're just surviving through life. Why? Because there's no other choice. You have to provide for your family. You have to do different things to be a member of society. But are you going to go through it and be another casualty of history and just repeating itself? We were saying earlier, we're living in a state of mind that if you raise the technology, if you raise all these comfort zone things that we have today in today's times, you're left with the basics, which is a kingdom. The king is still running the kingdom. He has his guards. The king now wears a suit. And there's all these different things that are adapting to today's times, but it's a class issue. Money versus no money. Kids that have nothing versus those that do. Right now, it's an interesting thing. I started giving a helping hand to somebody that works in an industry that does in-home services for patients, and they use a certain technology. So I'm helping them, and I'm going to these patient houses in a very high-end area here in LA. And when I get there, I'm going there to give them a helping hand so they can continue living right through this service that this person provides. And going there, people look at you like you are from a totally different race. You are totally from a different world. I experience that through their eyes. I'm nice because I was brought up with values, and I say good morning, good afternoon, thank you. They don't even respond. They look at you like you're nothing. You're like you're a servant. They have servants around the clock, and they just see you as one of them. Today I want to go do that, and I'm mentioning this story because it's tied to this whole thing. I was there and I was setting up the equipment. I had a problem with the machine. It wasn't me. It was the machine acting up on a sensor. Make a long story short, it took me what takes me 10 minutes to do, took me half an hour because I had to reset the equipment, clean it up from the inside. I became a technician and I was doing it with the effort of this person having a treatment later on that day because I had to prepare this machine to be ready a certain amount of hours later. And I finished, and when I finished, the person said, "You keep doing this error." I said, "I'm sorry, it's not human error, it's a machine error." Well, the last time I did the same thing, I said, "Yeah," and the last time I fixed it, I said, "I'm trying to do my best to give you a best comfort." I said, "And I'm not here to make your life worse. I'm making it here to make it easier for you." And this person looked at me with a different tone because they're used to the yes man. They're used to the servant. They're used to the modern servant that says yes to everything. And when I stood up for myself and I had a backbone with it, the last thing I told this person, I said, whether it's my team or some other team, hopefully they do what I'm doing, that I'm trying to fix this so it can work for you and save your life. I said, I'm not here to take anything from you. And remember one thing, you have a choice. If you don't want me, you can always change me. I said, but realize that I'm not here to hurt you. And is that glass breaking that you do with society, with classes, that you realize that there is a stupid mentality up here and up here. Like you mentioned, Rick, in the Mexican, the Latino world, we're very racist. We cap on each other, we bag on each other, we say this, we say that, we this and this and this and that. And they also say the same thing. So society right now, we call each other's name, and kindly we hate each other. And like you said, the cops put us down because they have that hate in them, but it's pushed on by somebody else, by money. Control the peasant, control this, control that. And until we see a revolution here, that's when change is going to happen. These kids are taking it out on the streets and making a difference by going out there and really protesting. Yeah, you have the bad apples, like you mentioned, Rick. In cops, there's bad apples, and so are there good, and so is in society. But the point here is like, man, we're living through crazy times, and I just hope for the best for everybody. We are that bridge, I guess, generation that is in between the old generation and the young generation, and we're the ones that are like, man, we're happy that we're seeing change, but we're like, man, it's crazy, it's happening in our time. So with that being said, I don't know what you guys have to say because I can go on and on and on because I also get passionate with this, but my whole point with this is that you, both of you, showed me a way of looking at the situation from a different perspective and looking at it for the whole picture, what it is, which is change needs to happen. Change needs to happen, and we must think differently because if we go out there and we start looting, yeah, it's great, but I think looting will happen the moment you want to fight a battle. But right now, obviously, we cannot fight a battle because we're outnumbered. We are outgunned. Our weapons are not the same. We are the minority. But how do we fight this? Like Rick said, go to the polls. Try to make a difference. Try to make something happen. If it doesn't happen that way, try to elect your friends. Be proactive. Be in those meetings. Do something about it. I don't know. That's me going on a rant. What do you guys think?
Um, I'm gonna go first, Carlos, so you could tune me down because I know you have a better calm mind than me. I'm more I'm more wild.
Go firecracker.
It's just where to start. Where to start? Honestly, I also think that because we're older and now we have become our parents. We had our time to do what we had to do to change, and we didn't do it. So now that someone has the balls to do it, we're criticizing them for doing it. And that's where I think to myself, when I was 15, I saw a barrel of shotgun in my face. One of officer put it in my face. And at the time, I didn't think I was going to die. And at the time, I wasn't scared. At the time, I was more outraged that happened. But we ran, right? What I'm noticing with these kids right now, they are ready to die, bro. They actually went and protested where the station of the military was. at front of the Staples Center. This is where it started today, and it is so crazy because they went where they went to the war if we were going to go to war. You understand? So they're a different breed. I mean, we're looking at it, and there's Asians, blacks, white, Latino. Even the Amish people came out and showed their love. Everybody's showing them love. Everybody's together, and that's how it's supposed to be. Everybody, no color lines, nothing. Yes, there's ignorance. I get that, and that's why I apologize to all my business owners. But don't get in that whole hate part. Support them too, and then say, hey, they'll come and clean you up. There's people that went out. That weren't out protesting, and went help clean people up, help pick up the glass, help try to put the merchandise wherever it is that they took back. And you know what? Like, again, there's those bad ones, there's those good ones. We're not out there protesting because, again, we're older. What are we gonna do? We're gonna run. Our backs hurt. You know what I mean?
Pinche gordo, what happened? Bro, I couldn't make it, bro. Pinches cops got me in the first putazo.
And we're kids, and we got kids.
Yeah.
But those kids don't have kids. They have fresh legs. They have a heart, and I'm proud of that. Like I told someone before, look, if my daughter was that age, and she came back home, yes, I'm gonna get mad. Yes, I'm gonna scream at her. Hey, you know what could happen to you? You could die because I'm a father. But inside, when I bless her to go to sleep, I'm a proud father because I know that she's willing to die on her feet and on her knees. You know what I'm saying? Like we're Latinos and we always quote Zapata. We're hard, we're proud. But then some of us punk out when it's time to really be hard.
Nah, bro, you know what? I got a carne asada. I gotta be. I mean, I gotta. No, hey. I can't go. Changes.
I can't go. No,
I can't go.
But again, change, solution. What is that? Okay. Town hall meetings are held. Look them up in your community. Look them up in your city. Get to know that small business. Go buy your stuff from the small business. You're really hurt that they got hurt. Well, support them. Stop going to Walmart. Walmart just gave Donald Trump $20 million for his campaign, and you still go to Walmart. You'd rather pay $1 for a gallon of milk than support that mom and pop shop their gallon of milk is $1.75. That's where you know who's real and who's not real. 75 cents hurts you, but you're supporting someone's dream. Walmart doesn't care about you. They're paying you minimum wage to work there. You know what I'm saying? So, again, Carlos, talk, man. I don't want to,
No, you're good. I'm listening. I'm taking note, brother. It's funny that you said we're not out to protest, and you're right. I would have been like, hey, buddy, sácame un bengue de la tienda, no? Me duele la espalda. But to go back, just I don't know, man. I'm totally for the protesting. I'm totally there for it. But you know what? I think at the end of the night, it all starts at home. Like tonight, we're having dinner with my family. And, it's unfortunate the media blows it up. My little boy was scared. My little boy is 5. My 8, and then I have an 8-year-old. And he's like, he said, man, why did that black person die? And why am I brown? Why is that? I'm like, you know what? And I was looking at at the table that we have here, and I had to explain to them in the language, ahora sí como quien dice, en manzanas y naranjas. I'm like, look, orange is orange. The melon is pale. The apples are green and red. But at the end of the night, what are they? They're all a fruit. It's all a family. It's all the same thing. So I think, I'm not saying the parents of these young people out there are bad parents. They're not parenting. But I think since they're desde que están chiquitos, even with me, like you said, I would listen to rock. I'm a metalhead. I don't like corridos. I'll listen to them. I'll listen to banda. Hey, looking at China. Hey, what do you mean, buddy?
I'm like, no mames, I thought you were like Ramon Ayala.
No me parezco lo gordito. Pero, I mean, I think overall, the issue is here the stereotyping that you see an African American, you instantly think, oh man, he's gonna beat me up, or he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. You see a white person, oh man, he's probably racist. You see a Latino, oh, hey, hey, what time are we gonna cut the lawn, bro? I think we all need to step up. Yes, help our young people have their voices heard. At the same time, help them reach those goals to go to school, help them educate, have lawyers, become judges, have them. They want to be a cop, you know, push them, help them to become cops, so they can become the future, the good cop that's going to make the change. If you're like me, unfortunately, I can't become president, but my kid can. He can become president, Latino, the first Latino president. Why not have that kid fulfill his
Necesitan
goals,
feria.
fulfill his
Latinos don't
dream?
have feria, and the ones that do live in Downey, they don't give you anything, cabrón.
Hey, don't worry. We'll go to talk to Nachin's now foundation from here. De aquí entonces,
Sí se
Nachin doesn't
pudo,
have a
cabrones.
foundation. Sí se
Nachin
pudo.
Cruising Foundation. Vámonos a tirar cruising in Malibu. Nah, no, no, de verdad. We
Vendiendo
should start
mangos, pero
something.
se llegó.
Hey, that's how we do it. Seriously,
Yeah.
like that's a very good point, because if you guys really look at it, every culture, every I guess background has stereotypes. We stereotype
Yes.
about each other, but it's just a sub layer that we want to create this perfect world where we say we're not racist. But incidents like these that have happened, the 70s, 1992, Rodney King, now George Floyd, and so many others that have gone undocumented. All these crimes, people that are immigrants that are coming here and that have been put in jail like animals, all these injustices that are happening have one common denominator, like you guys mentioned. The media covers it all, and they portray a different image. They only show one side of the story. Tonight, I wanted to come live so we can show both sides of the story. In the beginning, we talked about how it is bad to be looting, how it is bad to do that, but we also show the why. Rick mentioned a great point in the beginning that didn't get broadcast because we're not live, but I want to repeat it. He mentioned that a kid that comes from the hood, he's going to go after it to get a better life. He's going to go out there. He has nothing to lose, but he has everything to gain. He goes into a store, he robs something because he's been taught that that item is great, Nike, that he can take it and sport it and be good about it. But why don't we teach each other what is good, man? Which is not being just money driven, not being these people that are just money hungry, corporations that just want to exploit people by giving us shitty ass food, and we have no other choice but to buy it because it's cheaper. And let's start thinking about humanity as a whole and really think about the whole movement that is happening here. If we don't change, we're facing death with diseases. We're facing death with survival, everyday survival. If we don't change, the ones on top, this is an awakening call for you guys, because guess what? The pyramid doesn't stay strong if there's no strong backbone at the bottom. There's no structure. There's no cimiento. There really is no foundation. If you shake this, what's going to hold you up there? Are you going to go to Mars? Are you going to go to the moon station? What's happening? Let's be realistic. Politicians, wake up and smell the coffee. You cannot play this whole game about being all like rubby-dubby. Yeah, let's be. Let's get there. But let's be real. Let's find out what's hurting us and let's fix it. You are responsible too. We at the bottom, we're responsible too. But let's be humans. Let's not be animals, and let's not be a-holes with each other.
I'll tell you something. If a politician gets the chance to watch our video tonight and is watching live, I challenge you to go into your community and speak to every person that's out there and see what actually needs to be fixed. If people don't talk, you're never gonna know. If people don't go out there and listen, or listen, stop talking.
It's
You have
crazy,
two ears to listen, one mouth.
Like Rick said too, they don't care. Once they join the gang, it's hard to get out because there's so much money behind the whole gang that's running those political and those interests that it's hard. But I think it's gonna come down to, like Rick said, a war with these kids.
It's hard, but
are not willing.
Everything's a
to lose their life.
choice. Everything's a choice. You don't have to, but
just I get Nachin, and it's sad because here's what I'm gonna say that's kind of true, and it's sad because it's our kids. Ready? The system we're in, okay? I didn't go to college, so when I was 1 year in Santa Monica City College, I learned about all these Latino clubs, Mecha, Latinas Unidas, all these. This is for the raza type clubs, right? Uh, this in the air, and I am a type of person that likes to talk to people and hear them out, right? I'll stay quiet just to listen, but then I point out their flaws, and I'm just an asshole like that. But when I talk to a lot of these Mecha kids, why are you in it? Oh man, I see those white kids driving Corvettes. Man, I want a Corvette too. Oh, okay, okay. And then it's always leading to envy, the money, the money, the money. And then you ask them, what do you study? Oh, I'm gonna become a lawyer. I'm gonna help my people pro bono and this and that, and I'm gonna get them migas and their fucking green card. And okay, cool, yeah, hey, that's what's up. But then when they get the bill for all their law school and all their studying and realize that their mom's a house lady that cleans houses, guess what they do? Fuck the pro bono, fuck my people. I'm gonna go work for the white folks that have a big firm and make 100,000 right off the bat. And guess what they do with that 100,000? They move out of the hood and they forgot about the hood. And nothing wrong with that because that is the goal. That is the goal. Anyone who's in the hood, you gotta get out of the hood. That hood mindset, it will kill you faster than what's happening right now. You will lose your soul. You'll be slave to this mentality that you're not good enough, this mentality that you can't do it, this mentality that white people rule the world. You're going to be stuck. It is reality, but you have to get out. And that's the sad part, that our kids are going to be lawyers, our kids are going to be this. And we got to just that's why I say that these kids are good. I have faith now in the future because these kids that are young right now are willing to die for what they believe in. You know what I mean? They don't have guns. They don't have anything. Military could shoot to kill right now. You know what the president said? The looting starts, the shooting starts. There's people that I think I sent it to Nachin. I sent a video. There's chatter on the radio. Hey, let's go kill black people. Hey, they're worth $100. But when you hear, hey, let's kill Mexicans, they're worth $50. Yo, if I'm mad that the signs say Black Lives Matter, shit, best believe I'm gonna back it up because my life is worth less than their life. If we're gonna play that color game, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying right now. LBT community, the Me Too movement, the kids locked up movement, this ain't right that they changed the fucking menu on McDonald's. Whatever you believe in, you have to be out there if you're young, and you could be out there with your sign in what you want change from, because it's so simple to end this. All has to happen is the mayor or the governor of Minnesota charges these officers. If they want to be politicians, they could easily just go out, do a press conference, parade them, and say they've been arrested. Justice will be served. As soon as they walk in from City Hall, the doors are closed, they can turn around and tell the cops, you're good. None of you are going to get life. You might do 7 years and then you're good. They're going to forget about you. You guys are going to live your own life and you're still going to get your pensions. That's a politician. Play the people, get rid of it. No one wants the peace right now. No one wants peace. I see the mayor of Los Angeles talking about peace. They don't want peace. He speaks from a TV area. Why is he not setting up at City Hall with microphones, speakers, and talk to the people that are there and ask them, please come up, express your feelings, let us know. I'm writing down, I have a secretary here, writing down every single complaint for every single person that is here. He's not doing that. That's just simple stuff. Nobody is going to get out of hand. He could even say, hey, the officers are here for our safeties. I want to hear you. I'm with you. I am going to change for you. What do you need me to change? That's
a lot of the sheriffs. I saw sheriffs in Dallas and a lot of other smaller cities doing this. Like they're going out with the people and really conversating with them and letting them know, you know what, we're here. Let's make this happen. Let's not create this whole animosity of distinction. But like you said, it starts at the top, the hierarchy. If these people up there don't make that change, it's not going to happen. But it goes back to that old idea, that old money that says they're the peasants. Invade them, kill them. If they're not with you, they're against you. And like you said, Rick, it's a great point that these kids are standing up for those that have been quiet and didn't have the balls to do it for whatever reason it was. And now I think it's a point of pivotal point. Change needs to happen one way or another. And like you said, it's casualties of war. We got to go with it and roll with it, but not necessarily. I would say not necessarily be in the same predicament that we were years ago. Let's try to make something
we
happen.
gotta change. Yeah, like once this is said and done and the fire's put out, we have to change. We have to show the media that there are people cleaning up after this. And no disrespect to Martin Luther King, the great Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, these great minds that have preached peace and have philosophized a lot of great stuff, a lot of fucking textbooks and books, and we should learn from them. But I'm sorry to say, their way didn't change anything, and it hasn't changed anything. And you know what? I'm a guy of peace and love, and I don't want to hurt humans. I don't want no human getting hurt. But I applaud these kids for doing what they do, and we shouldn't look down on them. And I know we're hurt. I know there's people out there mentándome la madre because, oh, well, it didn't happen to you. Of course, it didn't happen to me, but guess what? It didn't happen to your brother. It didn't happen to your dad. Because if that was him laying there and the cop had his knee, oh, you want this whole city burnt down because it's your family. Exactly with the COVID-19. Because it's not your abuelita sick. You don't care. You want to go party. You want to go to the beach. You want to go get a manicure. No one can tell you to wear a mask. Okay, cool. We get that. But now this is serious. Now this
Rick, let me add to that. You know, you're saying, you know, it didn't happen to you, it didn't happen to your brother, it didn't happen to me or any of our family members. Let's go, you know. But I saw a video of George Floyd's brother coming out. Hey, please do this in peace. Yes, we're hurt. Yes, we feel it, and we miss him. Please do this in peace. We'll take care of this with justice. You know, how do you explain that? His own brother, which he's hurting more than anybody else in here, is telling people, go in peace, protest in peace. You know, how do you justify that? How do you see that? What do you think from that?
I mean, I think again, he is speaking out of his heart. He's speaking out of his mind. Those are his words, right? But again, these kids are not just out there for George. They're out there for every. You know what I'm saying? So he is trying to calm the nation. He's trying to be a leader and calm the nation. Why does it take? He just said his piece, right? He basically said, "Stop, peace," right? How come none of the leaders were standing next to him? Why isn't government standing next to him? Why isn't Trump there with him to do that? No. But I'm just saying, like, you understand?
Yeah, no, I get it.
These kids are not stupid. They know they're not. It got to a point where smoking mirrors to them is enough, man. They're out there to get blood. They're out there they're like I'm saying, bro. When I was 15, I saw the shotguns. I'm running home.
For sure.
You know, we all ran home. South Central stopped burning. Everybody went home. Right now, these kids están toreando, bro. Curfew, turn on the TV. They're still out there. They don't care.
Something is gonna happen. You know, I think.
Yeah.
I visualize that, like you said, Rick, blood is gonna be shed. Earlier today, somebody sent me a video on Instagram about this individual that had been looting. 2 cops went after him. I'll share the video on Friday. We're gonna go live, or maybe Wednesday again, or tomorrow night. But the idea is to give a conversation to this whole narrative that's happening in our world today, that is changing us. This person sent me a video on Instagram, and I'm gonna download it and upload it here so you guys can see. There's two cops getting this kid that was looting, and they know that he's gonna be, fighting them because they're pressuring him, and he's trying to survive. The same thing as George. He's trying to fight for his life. So this guy, as he sees that the kid is gonna move, he already has the gun right here, and he sees that the kid is moving, and he points it at him, and he says, UFMF, boom, and shoots him in the head. And it happened during these protests. So the blood has been shed, but the media has not reported that because it'll create a bigger chaos. But people are doing it on social media. Times are changing. Social media is a powerful way of communicating. And if these politicians don't understand that totalitarian times are coming to an end, they have a rude awakening because, man, it's sad, but we are going through a revolution. It's a new age revolution, and man, change doesn't come. Look, 4th of July, revolution is coming. Crazy.
No, and to piggyback on that, I think they know it's here. What happened to Trump? They threw him in the bunker, bro. Come on, man.
I want to add to that, and I hear a lot of I've been going on Instagram and live with a lot of these Latino movement type people, and all I hear is we don't have leaders, we're the celebrities, we're these, we're that, and I just want to speak to our people, to our Latinos, and whoever wants to listen to this message, is we have to stop looking for hope in a person who's an entertainer. Remember, they signed up to entertain you, not to lead you. Okay? They're not going to lead you. They're going to entertain you. So stop trying to look for hope from them. Everybody, George Lopez, listen, George Lopez is a comedian. He makes you laugh. Okay? George Lopez is a puppet. Sandra Bullock started his career. He's not going to talk against white people. They cut him quick. Okay? Just understand, La Raza. We have to take care of ourselves. If you are mad, don't shop at Walmart. Don't shop at Target. There's a lot of swap meets you can go shop. And it's cheaper. All right? Curacao. Go handle Curacao. Go, again, support Pollo Campero. Stop going to fucking Taco Bell. Pepsi.
Esos también son corporaciones, oiga, pinches vatos.
Pero son corporaciones latinas que vienen.
You know what? Rick, you and I and another friend of ours, we started a movement about a year and a half ago. It was called Latino Key Network. And the whole movement was to create a network of individuals that were not the super big businesses, but were the guys that were actually starting their own business to network with each other and consume from one another. We realized that not everybody was on the same page when it came down to it. And we realized that we need leadership to get there. The thing that really hurt us was that we didn't have the money to continue with it and amplify it. Why? Because we didn't get the sponsorship. We went after the sponsorship. We talked to big groups, insurance groups. We talked to these guys, and we presented the idea for them to be the main sponsor and bring change to our community, to bring these leaders up there. But we realized it's not in their best interest to bring somebody from the top to the game, because you're going to take their cookie. They're going to take your cookie. So with that being said, I hope we started something that's going to start consuming a consumption, I guess, movement, but it's hard to say because we were this fraction in this big picture. But if we were to amplify that and really consume from one another and really help each other out, we would be at a different level. And I'm not being ethnic. I'm just being ethnic because that was our experience with our group, Latino Key Network. But if we were to consume from one another on a social level, seeing that, like you said, the corporations have the billions. And a corporation, if you really think about it, it's somebody that has more money, and this is their whole argument, their whole money to buy in bulk and sell you very low. And they give you specials. They're just pushing BS products to you. You can go to, like you said, to a swap meet and buy better cleaner. You can buy better brooms. But you don't go. Why? Because the world has taught you that you need to consume the good, because the good is super badass, and you gotta have the latest vacuum, you gotta have the latest this. It's great, but think about the human side. Like me, when I buy tacos from the street, obviously I look at the place and I check it out and see that, it's okay, but I go in there with that idea that I'm gonna feed somebody that took the balls to be away from a system and created their own thing to be their own. And the moment we look at each other as human beings and we start consuming from one another and lifting each other, even the ones on top, giving a helping hand to the ones at the bottom, I think it's gonna be a different world. But I think we fail to see one big element, which is realizing that there's only one life and you're not going to be here forever and you're not going to take everything you have. You can say, I'm going to pass it down to my generation and my legacy. What, your legacy is going to be a legacy of greedy assholes that didn't want to help anybody else and wanted to live like Barbies? Great. Or you wanted to be a hater all your life and you didn't want to change your ways of being stuck right here at this level? No. Life has to be a way of looking at it from different channels. We can talk to a rich person, we can talk to a middle class person, but we must look at each other as human beings. And I think this whole George movement created that. It allowed people to see that, like you said earlier, Rick, if you're there with me, God forbid a cop came and jumped on me, you would jump and risk your life because you're that kind of individual. Assholes, those that stood there and were recording the event and didn't do jack.
I mean, we need the cameras. For sure we need the cameras. But we don't need every different fucking angle. You know what I mean? But here's my thing behind that. Maybe I'm dumb, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm just a fucking hardcore pitbull Mexican, whatever. But at least I'm gonna be in jail with you, Nachin, and we could tell stories and we could high-five each other. But at least I'm not gonna be at your funeral. Do you understand? Yeah. And that's the problem, that we could, as humans, could avoid all this, because I wish, and I want to think in my mind, that if my mom is crossing the street and someone tries to snatch her purse or whatever, that some dude will interfere and save my mom from getting beat up, you know? And I would find that dude and I would appreciate him and I'll thank him, and whatever problem he might have, like, hey, dude, I couldn't make the rent. Hey, doesn't matter, I'm going to pay your rent. But hey, listen, I got work for you. Let me help you out. I'll front you some money. Come work. Let's go. I appreciate what you did for my mom. I'm gonna pay you $200. Your rent's $500. Here's $300 on GP, because you are someone that saved me a lot of pain, saved me a lot of grief, saved me a lot of whatever I was gonna go through. And there's no hate in my heart, because you save that person. Like these commercials that you see, the good thing, the good deed, and someone else does the good deed, and someone else does the good deed. Until that happens, we cannot blame these kids for burning shit down. Okay, and that's it.
To piggyback on what you just said, you know what? In this time of these crazy times, and I've said it for a while now, the reason people are scared to jump in and help is because it's our system. Our system is it's a free, you can sue for anything. Me echó un pedo y no te gustó, you sue. That's why people are afraid of jumping in and helping each other. What happened to the Good Samaritan law? Unfortunately, it's there, but no one does anything. What happens when somebody gets in a car accident? Instead of jumping in, ¿qué hacen? Sacan el teléfono, let me start recording. The person is burning inside.
You bring up a good point, Charlie, and hey, sorry to interrupt, I'll let you continue, but what I saw today, like, what made me really enraged is the fact that I posted in two of my platforms, Instagram, @Nachingon, and Facebook. I posted something about LAPD in the morning. I was going to the west side here in LA, and I saw a bunch of cops coming, and I said, man, what a way to start the day. And I said, I just don't like the looting part, because I had not really analyzed it like we're doing it right now. And somebody went off on me and, oh, you're this, you're that, you're not a leader, you're using this to manipulate people in the wrong way, and so on and so on. And I said, look, I'm just coming at you as an individual. I'm just giving my opinion. Why do you attack me? And I think until we get to the level of understanding that everybody has an opinion, but at the end, hey, who cares? Don't let your ego get on the way. If I'm different, try to change me, but don't attack me.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this show that we're doing now, man. We all have different opinions. We all have a different point of views. But at the end of the night, we see each other as humans, and we respect each other.
Yeah. And there's three men right now. We all have three different minds, different backgrounds, different uprisings, different thoughts. And you know what? I agree with you guys. And unfortunately, I'm not educated like you guys. And I preach to my kids, education is
Cállate,
great.
you are a natural leader, cabrón. You have a mind.
No, hey, but in my mind, I always teach my kids that education is key. But in my heart, I know that education will not make them great people or great business people or successful, or there's other elements to it, and there's no playbook for anything. You just got to do it. You just Nike, just do it. Hey, listen, want to help that abuelita across the street, just do it. Don't worry about who's gonna talk shit. Don't worry about your homies. You're over there with the senora. What's your problem? That lady stink. Don't worry about it. Just do it, and that's it. That's all you got to do. If you're out and you see a homeless person asking for money, don't yell at him and say get a job or what the. Hey, oh, you're hungry? Walk them in and say, hey, order what you want. I'm paying for it. Got you. You don't have to give them money. You don't have to say, hey, don't go buy drugs with this. Don't go get drunk with this. Don't do that. Walk the man in, order food from him, give him his food, and you did what you had to do. Don't worry about, mira, los chismosos, or let's stop that, because Latinos are the number one window creepers. They want to know what the neighbor's doing. Ahí con la ventanita, and then they turn around. Hey, mira, el hijo de este, hey, mira, esa mujer es una, we got to stop, man. We got to stop with that. And
we are the biggest judges.
yeah,
Nos creemos
we are.
jueces del pueblo. We feel like we know it all. And I think it goes down to the ego. The ego breaks it down, that it tells you, oh, we live in a society. I think our generation, where we are, our age group, we're that age group that grew up with stereotypes, with hate. And we're also the generation that laughs about it, because, like you said, Rick, we talk to each other, and we talk to each other with nicknames. Mira este güey cara de gallo, and so on and so on. But when it really comes down to it, it's about respect, but respecting each other's ways of being. And I think for a while I was having a confusion between seeing these kids that are going out there and really standing up for what they believe and not caring about what other people think. And like you said, looking at them and saying, wow, that's badass, And an adult, a former adult, will say, yeah, well, they have nothing to lose. They haven't worked so much for something. They don't know what it takes to get there. I was that asshole this morning thinking that. But I realized this, you only live once, and if you don't stand up for something, you're going to fall for everything.
And not to fault any adult that thinks that way, because remember when our parents were telling us things, and we're like, tú estás loco, estás viejo. That's why you don't know what's up. And me, just because my experience, I was that 15-year-old kid, and I know why I was out there, and I did participate in some looting. I'm not even gonna lie, but the reason I was out there and what I believed in was the reason I was out there. And now I look at them. Who am I to tell them they're wrong? I'll be a hypocrite. I'll be that guy that people say, oh, you sold out, you left the hood, now you change your. I'll be that guy, instead of being like, you know what? We forget to be young. We forgot how we were when we were young. The risk we took when we were young, when we didn't have any responsibility. Now that we're adults and we're worrying about bills and we're trying to take care of kids and we're trying to raise them to be good people, we forgot who we were. We forgot we were young ones. We forgot how innocent we were.
It's the fear that they inflict on us of losing everything, and that's how they see this. These people are losing this homeowner, this guy, this. In the meantime, the government is taking your house. You know what's happening? I've been in the real estate game for the last year, learning this whole thing. I've been promoting companies and so on, but I get to learn the whole system. What I learned is this whole forbearance package, this whole thing is going to create a lot of people losing their homes. And what's going to happen? The people with the money are going to come in and buy at very low, because the inventory and the market is going to be full. And everybody that has money can come in and buy a bulk and buy so much. They don't care about people losing their homes, losing who they are. Just move out of the state. You don't like this state? It's very expensive. Go to Texas, go to Oklahoma, go somewhere else. But this is the golden state, and we're going to get this. Man, I had somebody call me today, one of the guys that I had been working with in the past, and tell me, you know what, this is a list of numbers. Make sure you call them and see if they need help. But if they need help, they don't qualify obviously because they've been out of a job. Do this: offer them a loan, a quick loan, as they call it, a quick cash loan with a high interest, and we'll take their house. I was like, man,
Wow.
freaking human greed where it goes to, right? I just laughed at these people and I was just like, a-holes, right? A-holes. Until we start being a-holes and being greedy, this is gonna change. Otherwise, somebody's always gonna want to be the Ken and the Barbie and want to have more than the
Yeah,
other, and that's sad.
and, and you know what? I mean, this is a platform, Nachin. Like it or not, you will go on YouTube. People are gonna hear this, and just because I'm a man of my word and everything. I'm not saying we're gonna give you a loan and build your business, and we don't know how much your dream was worth. But if there's a business out there, mom and pops, because I'll do my research. If you're not a fucking mom and pops, I ain't fucking with you. But if you do need help, I know compas that I'll get on the phone. Hey, we need to clean. We need to go help them clean. Let's go. If you need some kind of financial help, I know a lot of compas that will try to look and see what city, what program, or anything. Well, you know what I'm saying? We'll help somehow, some way. I'm not gonna say, oh, we're rich and we're gonna fucking build your your dream back up. All I'm saying is reach out. Don't be egotistical. Don't have that pride that you don't ask for help. Ask for help. This is the time to ask for help. There are people that care about you. There are people that are out there with you. There are people that are hurting with you. But you have to ask for help. Don't let your ego, don't let that brown pride, don't let that
Or
machismo.
that anger, yeah, that machismo say, you know
Yes.
what? No,
Yeah.
esos, they're against me.
Yeah.
F them, F lob. They took over my
Yeah.
dream. They did
Don't.
this. They did that. That is
Yeah.
the media narrative. Let's be
Yeah.
human beings and really reach out to people and really look for those people because just like you said earlier, we have bad cops, we have good cops. Just like there's good
Yes.
protesters, there's bad protesters. There's everything in this world. But why don't we stand up for each other and try to be the difference for one another? Our leaders are not doing
Yeah.
it. So-called leaders that are appointed to their
Yeah.
ways. I think it's a rude awakening for everybody. And if we don't wake up, this thing can blow up in a second. We're like this close to it.
Yeah, and you know what? COVID-19 is still happening. Check in with your elders, check in with your neighbors, check in with people around you. And you know what? If you're living next to a white person, maybe just have a conversation with them, make them feel comfortable because they feel uncomfortable right now. Because
Hmm.
not a lot of white people are haters, but they feel uncomfortable because their color of skin. They know that it's a tough time for them. Now, if you have black friends, yo, hear them out, give them a hug, invite them over to your fucking carne asada. You know what I mean? I know it's COVID-19 and we shouldn't have people over, but
They'll eat it.
you
Oh,
know,
not just kidding.
like get to now. It's time to get to know people around you. Now it's time to forget about any kind of hate you may have towards certain people. Even family members. We Latinos are kind of like the only family members that really don't talk to other family members because when we were growing up, he didn't break the piñata and you did, and he got mad, But like, let's
Hold
put all
grudges.
that madness aside. Yeah, hey, listen, let's put all that madness to the side. Right now, it's a time to uh, talk, explode, yell, scream, uh, and then let's heal, and then find solutions. Let's not just hate, 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 and you know, media is bad and media is good. Okay, in life is the yin and the yang. If you believe in God, you believe in the devil. Okay, it's plain and simple. It's in the Bible. It's in your belief. There's always the positive and negative. Okay, there's always going to happen, but we need to learn how to recover from that negative. How to move forward in a positive way. Not because you're positive thinking, throwing it to the universe. All that stuff means you're gonna have a great life. Life doesn't work that way. There's no
That's
playbook.
that is the program. I think that is the mindset that you gotta have in the computer, internal computer, to really make this whole monster move, this machine called body, human being. But action is what makes it happen. Unless you start doing something, nothing's gonna get done. Like I look at my yard when it's full of grass. If I leave it like that, it's gonna stay like that. But when I finish and I put in the work, man, I like the results. So realize that it takes work. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of different ways. Breaking old cocoons, breaking conditioning, breaking so many layers that we've been accustomed to, and realizing that we're living in a combination of so many different societal times bridging into today's times. The kingdom is still there. The majority with the money, the gold, the kings are still running the game. But guess what, kings? Yeah, peasants are there. Peasants are your servants because you categorize them as such because you were privileged to have people pay them off. But guess what? We're all going to go to the same hole. So you either become a good person or who knows, be an asshole and live like that.
And I love what you guys said. We need to talk to each other, talk to our neighbor. And the main thing, thinking about it now, we need to learn how to forgive. Don't forget it, because that's how you learned. But forgive that person. Forgive that other person. Give them a hug. Vámonos. How can we build? Don't destroy. Let's build from here.
Nah, this who's trying to sexually harass me. I'm not gonna let him hug me, huh? Forget him. Nah.
Hey,
Just kidding.
hey, but you, even that's a touchy subject too. But um, the reason I say about neighbors and schools get involved because some kids walk home,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of bad people out there, and they might snatch a kid. But if you know the community and you know the people, they look out for your kids. They might be like, hey, that's Rick's kids right there. Hey, what's up? Blah, blah. And I'm not saying they're gonna offer a ride, but what I'm saying is that at least when they're walking home, they have some kind of eyes on them, because they are gonna have bad eyes on them. There's always gonna be that guy creeping, um, and, and this is what I'm saying about what's happening right now. Any movement you want to do, any injustice that you have felt and you need to express yourself, right now is the time to express yourself. I'm not saying go burn a building. All I'm saying is right now, use your social media, post signs, post that you're supporting what they're going through, but then post why you're doing it. Post, don't just say Black Lives Matter and then that's it. You're done. It doesn't help. You're just doing it for clout. You're just doing it for media, social media. Oh my God,
For the likes, yeah.
yeah, for the like. Look, listen. There's people that may unfollow me. There's people that might appreciate me. There's people who might be like, fucking Rick just talks out of his ass. Fine, that's great. But I have, like I said, and I'm gonna say it again. My words sometimes hurt someone because I don't know them and I don't know what they've been through. But there's my words, and I stand by my words until I know you as a person. Then I could say, hey, listen, I apologize for my words hurting you because I didn't know you. Even as an officer, if I say fuck the police, that's how I feel. But if you're an officer, you get offended by that, there's an issue because you should know why we said that or why you should know why I said that. Especially right in this moment. And I've seen a lot of videos of cops saying, "I'll march with you guys. I'm with you guys. I'm for it, man. I'm done with this code that the cops got to look out for cops. Like I see the mayor snitch on businesses that were open during COVID-19. All right, mayor, we see you. Now get on the mic and say, cops, snitch on the bad cops. Don't be afraid no more. I got your back. The DA got your back. In, Internal affairs got your back.
No, we don't.
Start
They're gonna
pointing
say
them out.
the cop union doesn't let us. Shut up.
No, but okay. Again, if a mayor's gonna come out and say, "Hey, businesses, tell other businesses, I'm gonna turn their water off." Okay, I see how you are. I see what kind of society you want us to be. Why am I gonna turn in my barber shop that he is open by appointment, cutting hair, because you want me to tell him to shut it down? Like he needs to eat. He needs to pay his rent. There's a reason this man is taking a risk with his life to keep his business open. He could get COVID-19 with one of us going in there and giving it to them. But you want me to be a snitch? Okay, Mayor. Now get up there and say, hey, LAPD, Rampart Division is over. Please turn in your fellow officers. We don't need them in our system. Let's see that. I mean, that would kind of show me that, okay, you're equal.
Another solution that I think would be beneficial or interesting to see. One, for instance, and I'm using this gentleman George Floyd as an example. The family most likely is going to get a settlement. That's not going to bring them back to life. But what if that settlement would come out of their retirement fund? You think anything would change at that point?
Oh yeah,
it's not
yeah.
gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. It's not. But
no.
The system is very
happen.
their way.
Yeah, because again, remember, the only way to get their attention is hit their pockets. You hit any rich person, you hit their pockets, they will change. They will figure something out. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's 2 dates that are coming up. I think July 17th, people say do a blackout. Don't shop. Don't do anything. Don't get gas. Just bring the economy to a halt. I think that's one date. There's another date that artists are going to not perform or something like that. I always say if you hit someone's pocket, they will change because they hurt more when you hit their pockets. You know what I mean? If you look at
I think that's a good way to fight this war, because like you said, everybody has a monetary value behind it, and just like this COVID hit all these industries, it hit the most the poor man. It made him poor. They wanted to create a bigger slave that would be in debt. Somebody is going to lose their home. Somebody's going to lose their livelihood. But guess what? If we help each other out, we can lift each other up. That's what it takes. Surround yourself with good people, people that think alike, people that are not haters, people that are about doing things and moving each other up. And forget about those that are assholes. Those that are assholes, let them be in their side. Let them be there. Don't get near them. Erase them from your life. Simple as that. And you'll find people that are in your frequency and people that are good, people that have worth, people that really want to help each other out. And I think starts with us as an individual change. Revolutionize your mind, revolutionize who you are, and be about it and do something about it. Guys, we can go on. And I wish, I want to invite you guys.
I wish you know what I'm saying?
I wish we continued tonight, but it's kind of late. We got dad duties, and let's continue this conversation. Perhaps let's see how the day goes tomorrow. We'll jump on probably like at 7 p.m. if everything turns out, and then we continue dissecting this whole thing and just talking about this, because I think that's what it takes. Dialogue, but real dialogue.
Yeah, solutions. I mean, look, listen, I could go to Google and try to get some more info on small businesses and stuff like that. And real quick, not to contradict what I said, but I understand in the intelligent way that if we burn our local stores, where are we going to shop? We're going to have to go to Walmart. We're going to have to go over there and support the big corporations that have insurance because they don't care. But again, there's ways, you know what I mean? There's ways to help each other. There's ways, if you're running out of toilet paper, hey, ask the people around you. You know what I mean? You don't have to go stock up with $1,000 worth of toilet paper. That's not going to help you. But tomorrow, if you want to touch up, hit me up. And before we come in, I'll do some research and get some numbers, and we could post them. Like you see me, Nachin, I'm always posting stuff, good stuff, bad stuff. I'm posting all sides of the coin because everybody has to see the good and the bad in people. Because if we don't, then we'll never know what other people are up to. Like, we don't know what good is. We don't know what bad is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, have a good night. And I don't know, end it. I don't know how you guys end out the show.
Charlie, anything you want to say?
No, just to piggyback a little bit on what Rick said. We're destroying these little pop and mom shops. What's going to end up happening? Next year, to be surprised if there's a tax hike. That's it.
Yeah, the war is money, and they know how to get us. Every time they get us with a different bond that nothing gets done. The
Yep.
bond for this, the bond for that. Let's create our schools. Let's create this. Man, when we're growing up, we didn't even have computers, and we survived. Let's work with what we have and make the best of it. Tomorrow, let's connect
That's
if
it.
we can, guys. We'll announce it on our social medias. Adna Chingon. What's yours, Charlie?
Mine is Charlie M underscore MGMT.
And yours, Rick, so they can follow you.
Mine says Ricardo Ramirez Jr. Or is it Rick Ramirez Jr.? One of those two.
Rick,
Flip me.
Rick. Okay.
Yeah, it's Rick.
Well-
It's Rick Ramirez Jr.
Awesome. Thank you so much. God bless you all. And let's continue this journey, but let's continue with this and with this. Take care. We're out, guys.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.